Hi guys, this is Gabby here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about what to do when you have an internal conflict or a dilemma. You know, when you have different options and you can't choose which one would be the right option for you. There's things to do, and I'm going to give you some tips on it, and also I'm going to explain why this happens. Why do we have dilemmas? And of course this applies to business, or this applies to relationships, in any area really. A dilemma or an internal conflict is always a lack of clarity. If I don't see clearly, if I don't have clarity, I don't see clearly. And if I don't see clearly, then the path is very foggy and I don't know which direction to go, right? And so I'm not going to make a decision. Yeah, and that's why people feel stuck in this kind of situations. So it's always a lack of clarity. But here's the interesting thing: you always have a right path. Like, one of the options is always better for you in the long term, and it always serves you best. However, that the right path. And let me just clarify something here very quickly. When I say right path, I don't mean right because your parents would approve it, or I don't say right because it would fit with society's norms, right? When I say right path, it means right for you. I literally mean that it's your right path, it's your truth. Yeah, it's your truth. So there's always a right path, but in that direction, many times we have doubts, we have fears, we have beliefs or limiting beliefs about our abilities, what we can do or we can't do, right? And so that right path, even though that would serve me best long term, I might be afraid to choose that. And so what humans do, you see, very interestingly, we have very good coping mechanisms. So what humans do, we create another path in our mind as an alternative, where we don't have to face those fears and we don't have to face those doubts and limiting beliefs. We don't have to work on those things. So I'm going to create this easier path in my mind, and I convince myself that this is another solution, this is another option. And so because I'm looking at these two options, and why can't I choose the easy one when it seems so much easier? Because deep down I know which one is the right option, right? Deep down I know that probably towards those challenges and fears and doubts, that's where the real thing will happen. That's where my truth is, right? And so because deep down you know which one is the right one for you, and you have this other imaginary path that you made up as an easier path, that's why you can't choose between the two. Yeah, so it's this very interesting dynamic. Now the problem with having an internal conflict and a dilemma is, just imagine yourself, this is you, and just imagine you have these two options, and one of them would take you to a certain place and the other one would take you to the opposite place, let's say that. So basically that's two opposing forces, right? Two opposing forces pulling you to two directions, so you're not going anywhere, you're feeling stuck. And so one of them will be the right path and the other one will be the imaginary path. When I'm saying imaginary, not because it's not something out there in the world. Of course there's two tangible, two realistic options, but one of them is the right choice for you for long term and serves you the best, and the other one is kind of another one that you created to cope with it. So basically what's the problem with this is that you cannot move forward. You cannot move forward. this situation, of course, it can happen in any areas, to be honest. It can happen in business, for example. So if you are about to set up your own business, you might feel stuck because you can't choose between two niche. Yes, so you might say, I want this, but I want that as well. Or if you are in a relationship, maybe you've been thinking that, am I in the right relationship? Should I stay or should I go? And so there's these two opposing forces pulling you, kind of in opposite direction, and you can't make that decision. So I'm going to give you some tips what to do if you have this sort of situations. Number one, use your intuition. That's probably your easiest choice. It's built in within you. Tune in. If you need to meditate, if you need to do hypnotherapy, hypnosis, whatever technique works for you, tune in and really dig down deep and notice what is it that you really want. Yeah, what is it that you really want? Because that will be your right path. But of course, as I said, this can be hard for some people, because some people might, if you haven't been practicing listening to your intuition, then you may be just feeling your fears and doubts, and that comes up, and then that will stop you going towards the right path, right? So in that case, second option is to see somebody, see a therapist. You don't have to see me. If you want, you can see me, we can sort this out in a 2-hour session or a 90-minute session perhaps. Probably 2 hours better. But you can see others who's dealing with this sort of stuff, and it will make a big difference. Because what you can do with a therapist, you can deal with the fears and the doubts and the negative self-talk. And then once the negative, kind of the baggage is cleared out from underneath, from the unconscious mind, then you can easily make that decision. And that decision will be clear. And you know that that's the right decision. Yeah? So see somebody for that. That would be number 2. Number 3, there's something again you can do at home. And I quite like this one actually. Basically, if you can't choose between 2, I would like you to pick one of them. And it doesn't matter which one. Doesn't matter. So let's say we don't know which one is the right path for now. We don't know which one is the other one. Pick one. Let's say I'm just going to pick one. And I'm going to go full into that decision and take the consequences and everything. Because guess what's going to happen? Down the line, you will notice whether that was the right decision or not. And then, this will be clear that the other one is the right decision, right? Now, it might, takes a little bit longer in this way, but at least it will be a clear decision at the end, and you will know that you tried the other option, and you know what's the best solution for you long term. And you might be lucky and choose this one, the right one first, and then you notice that you progress and you move forward. So, actually there's let me close this thought with a quote, and I don't know where I heard this, but I really like it. It goes like, the best decision is the decision that you make. So it really doesn't matter which one you choose, just choose one. Because if you don't choose any of those, you're going to be stuck there for a long time. And so even if you choose the wrong one, at least it moves you out from this situation, and you're going to change perspective, and the right decision will come along. So it's going to move the situation forward. Yeah? It's going to move the situation forward. So if you have difficulty to picking one, just imagine there's a gun to your head. Which one would you pick? Pick one. Just pick one. Yeah? And it's kind of similar to what I do in a restaurant when I go out, because I can decide things quite well in other areas in my life, like quite quickly. and I can jump into things quickly and quite intuitively. But when it comes to going to the restaurant and choosing from the menu, I literally can't choose. I'm just looking at it like half an hour, and then when the waiter is here, then I'm forced to pick one, and then I just pick one. Yeah, it does work on bigger things as well. So yes, so I hope this was useful. If you can't decide, see a therapist, pick one, or use your intuition in order to get unstuck. Good luck, enjoy the work, and Happy New Year!